Few moments, think of the Divine Supreme at the lotus of the heart and pray for the welfare of the whole humanity. Hridaya kamala madhye rajitan nirvikalpam sada sada khila bhedatitameka swarupam. Hridaya kamala madhye rajitan nirvikalpam sada sada kila bhedatitameka swarupam. Prakriti vikriti shonya nityamanandamurtim Vimala Paramahamsam Ramakrishnam Bhajam Nirupamamati Sukshma Nishprapanchan Nireham Gagana Sadrishamesham Sarvabhuta Devasam Nirupamamati Sukshma Nishprapanchan Nireham Gagana Sadrishamesham Sarvabhuta Devasam Trigunarahita Satchit Brahmarupam Varenyam Vimala Paramahamsam Ramakrishnam Bhajama Vitaritumavatirna Jnana Bhakti Prashanti Pranaya Galita Cettam Jiva Dukkha Sahishnum Vitaritumavatirna Jnana Bhakti Prashanti Pranaya Galita Cettam Jiva Dukkha Sahishnum Dhrita Sahaja Samadhin Chinmayam Komalangam Vimala Paramahamsam Ramakrishnam Bhajama Vimala Paramahamsam Ramakrishnam Bhajama. Let us offer our salutations to Sri Ramakrishna, the embodiment of all gods and goddesses, who descended on this earth out of his infinite compassion for the humanity. He couldn't tolerate people's suffering in various ways on account of the lack of faith in God. Sri Ramakrishna came to show to these people how to get rid of this misery, how to cultivate faith in God. What is religion in the true sense? He came to validate all the noble teachings of the Vedas. He came to show what is pure love. He came to show what is pure devotion. He came to show what is practical spiritual life. He came to integrate all the religions of the world. He came to unify all the spiritual aspirants who are sincerely struggling towards perfection. He came to bestow love and devotion. He came to bestow knowledge. He came to bestow wisdom. Let us pray to Him in all humility. God hears our prayers. Sri Ramakrishna himself has said, even the movement of the ant is heard by God. Whatever may be the thoughts in our mind are all heard by the Supreme Lord. God sees our heart. He sees our sincerity, whether we are sincere in our prayers. Sincerity is the foundation stone of spirituality. Then everything will come. In the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, last time I had read some passages where Sri Ramakrishna impresses about the importance of grace. We must try to get the grace of God, then all your problems get automatically solved. You need not have to worry over anything. Once you get the grace, you are sure to get whatever you aspired for. Without grace, it is not possible to get rid of the doubts. The greatest obstruction in our spiritual life is this doubt. Doubts linger on. Even Swami Vivekananda doubted about Sri Ramakrishna, whether he was really an incarnation. I would believe if Sri Ramakrishna could tell me now that he was so. At that time, Sri Ramakrishna was bedridden with cancer. He had become very weak physically. He couldn't speak. It was very difficult for him to get up even. He was about to leave his mortal frame. At that point of time, Swami Vivekananda entertained this doubt in his mind. He did not give expression to it, just the thought came to his mind. But then, here is Sri Ramakrishna, who could know everything, knowing which one knows everything, is said in the Upanishads. Sri Ramakrishna immediately came to know this thought in the mind of Vivekananda. Immediately he got up and said, "What, Naren? Do you still doubt me?" One who was Sri Ramachandra in Treta Yuga, one who was Sri Krishna in Dwapar Yuga, he is now Sri Ramakrishna, but not in your Vedantic sense. That cleared all the doubts. Swami Vivekananda became very clear thenceforward. These doubts of Vivekananda could be cleared. How? By the grace of Sri Ramakrishna. So I am putting importance on the value of grace, how it is so necessary. Without grace, you can't move a step forward in spiritual life. Many people make a big show of spirituality, but real spirituality is something entirely different. It is based on experience, it is based on realization of the Paramatma. But then again Sri Ramakrishna tells how to get this grace. It is right. Without grace of God, nothing is possible, and we must all strive for it. True. But how to get it? That's the important question. Sri Ramakrishna himself answers that. Do you really aspire for the grace of God? Then, from this moment onwards, without any hesitation, without giving any reasons, practice discipline in life. Pray to God in all humility. Then you will see how the grace flows and purifies your whole being. That's what happened in the case of Vivekananda. He was sincere to the core, and he was very adept in meditation. He had all required qualifications for receiving grace. So, at the proper time, Sri Ramakrishna showed the grace and cleared all the doubts in the mind of Vivekananda. Again, Sri Ramakrishna gives how to understand this, how to practice this. He gives the example again, very simple example, but very practical. Again and again I am pointing out, everything becomes meaningful only if you are sincere. Without that, no spirituality. No spirituality. So here, Sri Ramakrishna gives the example of the father and the child. If the child holds the hand of the father, there is every reason for the child to fear it may stumble down while walking. On the other hand, if the father holds the hand of the child, then the child will not have to worry at all about stumbling. So, a man doesn't have to suffer anymore if God in His grace removes his doubts and reveals Himself to him. But then, as had already been pointed out, this divine grace depends upon how the aspirant lives his life. This grace descends upon him only after the aspirant has prayed to God with intense yearning of heart and practiced spiritual discipline. If he keeps on doing that, grace will come. Again, Sri Ramakrishna gives the example of the mother and the child. If the child comes running to mother, "Oh mother, where are you? I want you, nothing else." And the child keeps on crying and crying. The mother cannot hide herself anymore. She has to come running to take the child on her lap. That is the compassion of the mother towards child. The child wants mother, nothing else. The child hitherto was engaged in playing dolls. Now it is fed up with the game. It is no more interested in such games. It wants mother and mother and mother. In the same way, we are all playing in the world with all sorts of games. We are engaging ourselves, becoming too busy, hectic, taking credit for your hectic activity. In a way, it's a discredit if you are not able to repeat divine name even 5 minutes in the morning or evening. What's the use of all this your hectic activity? Nothing will come to you when you have to leave this world. Who will save? Who will protect? Do these hectic activities protect you at the time of death? Please think seriously over these things. 5 minutes of your sincere prayer works miracles. I am only pointing out the intensity of spiritual practice. Please try to understand Sri Ramakrishna. If you say that you have understood Sri Ramakrishna, it means that you must be practical intensely. Never at any point of time should there be any kind of carelessness. How many times we are careless in our activities, in our duties. We forget. Why that forgetting comes? Why should it come? Because there is no alertness. We are lazy. So forgetfulness comes. Restless. So forgetfulness comes. Disinterested. So forgetfulness comes. Dishonest. So forgetfulness comes. Why don't you point out all these things and try to rectify? Then only you will understand Sri Ramakrishna. Then only you will understand Swami Vivekananda. Then only you will understand Holy Mother. Then only you will understand the meaning of grace. Until and unless that stand is practiced, he will never be able to appreciate or enjoy the grace of the Supreme Lord. Then one thought flashed in the mind of Master Mahashaya. Why God makes us run about? Why should He make this at all? Why should He put us into trouble and then make all these things? Just a thought flashed. Sri Ramakrishna immediately understood and said, well, it is all a fun. It is the divine play. That's all. That's the answer. It's all divine play. It is the work of Mahamaya. So, take refuge in Mahamaya. She is the power, she is Shakti. Propitiate her. Then only you will be able to get rid of the shackles of illusion caused by Mahamaya. Then only realization of God is possible. Shakti is the root of the universe. There are two aspects of Shakti. One is Vidya, another is Avidya. What is Avidya? It is nothing but that prompts the mind more and more towards acquirement and enjoyment of lust and gold. It is actually a spell, the spell cast on the people by Mahamaya. That is avidya. What is vidya? Devotion, kindness, wisdom and love. All these fine, subtle virtues, they lead one to God. But how to propitiate mother? It's not such an easy thing. There are so many methods, but Sri Ramakrishna himself suggests what he practiced, how he propitiated mother, how he got everything, how he got the final realization, how he reached the maximum heights in spirituality. Sri Ramakrishna himself suggests it is always very safe and very practical and very easy to propitiate mother if you have the attitude of a child towards its mother. Be like a child. Then you will see how mother will take you up into her arms and takes full care of you. Why the mother takes all care about the child? Because the child completely surrenders to the mother. That state we must cherish in our hearts. O mother, I am yours. I am yours. Please protect me. Please guide me. That's it. So if we pray to Mother in this way, with all sincerity, then whatever the experience you may pass through in the life will become a blessing. Whatever may be the difficulties, whatever may be the situations you are placed in, everything turns out to be good. That is how you will receive the grace of the Divine Mother. Once we reach that highest state of direct experience with God, then no more attraction about any things of this world. Everything pales into insignificance. You will be perpetually happy, peaceful and blissful. I have read up to this point and I have given my comments. Page 117, Advice to Householders. October 16, 1882, it was Monday, a few days before the Durga Puja, the festival of the Divine Mother. Sri Ramakrishna was in a very happy state of mind, for Narendra was with him. Narendra had brought 2 or 3 young members of the Brahmo Samaj to the temple garden. Besides these, Rakhal, Ramlal, Hazra and Yam were with the master. Narendra had his midday meal with Sri Ramakrishna. Afterwards, a temporary bed was made on the floor of the master's room so that the disciples might rest a while. A mat was spread, over which was placed a quilt covered with a white sheet. A few cushions and pillows completed the simple bed. Like a child, the master sat near Narendranath on the bed. He talked with the devotees in great delight. With a radiant smile lighting his face and his eyes fixed on Narendra, he was giving them various spiritual teachings, interspersing these with incidents from his own life. Master said, "After I had experienced Samadhi, my mind craved intensely to hear only about God. I would always search for places where they were reciting or explaining the sacred books such as Bhagavat, Mahabharata, Adhyatma Ramayana. I used to go to Krishna Kishore to hear him read the Adhyatma Ramayana. What tremendous faith Krishna Kishore had. Once while at Vrindavan, he felt thirsty and went to a well. Near it he saw a man standing. On being asked to draw a little water for him, the man said, "I belong to a low caste, sir. You are a Brahmin. How can I draw water for you?" Krishna Kishore said, "Well, take the name of Shiva. By repeating his holy name, you will make yourself pure." The low caste man did as he was told, and Krishna Kishore, orthodox Brahmin that he was, drank that water. What tremendous faith! Once a holy man came to the bank of the Ganges and lived near the bathing ghat at Ariada, not far from Dakshineshwar. We thought of paying him a visit. I said to Haldari, "Krishna Kishore and I are going to refer to the holy man as a mere cage of clay." I repeated this to Krishna Kishore. With great anger he said, "How impudent of Haldari to make such a remark! How can he ridicule as a cage of clay the body of a man who constantly thinks of God, who meditates on Rama, and has renounced all for the sake of the Lord? Doesn't he know
that such a man is the embodiment of spirit. He was so upset by Haladari's remarks that he would turn his face away from him whenever he met him in the temple garden and stopped speaking to him. Once Krishna Kishore asked me, "Why have you cast off the sacred thread?" In those days of God vision, I felt as if I were passing through the great storm of Ashwin. The master referred to the great cyclone of 1864, and everything had blown away from me. No trace of my old self was left. I lost all consciousness of the world. I could hardly keep my cloth on my body, not to speak of the sacred thread. I said to Krishna Kishore, "Oh, you will understand if you ever happen to be as intoxicated with God as I was." And it actually came to pass. He too passed through a God-intoxicated state when he would repeat only the word Om and shut himself up alone in his room. His relatives thought he was actually mad and called in a physician. Ram Kaviraj of Natagore came to see him. Krishna Kishore said to the physician, "Cure me, sir, of my malady, if you please, but not of my Om or love." One day I went to see him and found him in a pensive mood. When I asked him about it, he said, "The tax collector was here. He threatened to dispose of my brass pots, my cups and my few utensils if I didn't pay the tax. So I am worried." I said, "But why should you worry about it? Let him take away your pots and pans. Let him arrest your body even. How will that affect you? For your nature is that of Ka." Narendra and the others laugh. He used to say to me that he was the spirit, all-pervading as the sky. He had got that idea from the Adhyatma Ramayana. I used to tease him now and then, addressing him as Ka. Ka means sky, space. Therefore I said to him that day with a smile, "You are Ka. Taxes can't move you." In that state of God intoxication, I used to speak out my mind to all. I was no respecter of persons. Even to men of position, I was not afraid to speak of truth. One day, Jatindra, a titled aristocrat of Calcutta, came to the garden of Jadu Malik. I was there too. I asked him, "What's the duty of man? Isn't it our duty to think of God?" Jatindra replied, "We are worldly people. How is it possible for us to achieve liberation? Even King Yudhishthira had to have a vision of hell." This made me very angry. I said to him, "What sort of man are you? Of all the incidents of Yudhishthira's life, you remember only his seeing hell. You don't remember his truthfulness. You don't remember his forbearance, his patience, his discrimination, his dispassion, his devotion to God." I was about to say many more things when Hriday stopped my mouth. After a little while, Jatindra left the place, saying he had some other business to attend to. We shall stop here. Grace is always linked with interest. If you have got interest in spirituality, then it prompts you to be disciplined. If you are not disciplined, that means you are not interested. If you are interested, you must be truly interested. That's what I wanted to put stress. If you develop the interest, how to develop? By constantly coming to ashram, by constantly trying to be in holy association. I understand it's rather very difficult for people to have prayers or such spiritual activities in the home because of so many factors. Well, ashram is meant for that. Here is the place. Nobody can question you. Nobody can ask anything about it. This is meant for spiritual practice. This is tapo bhumi. So if you are interested, it should be seen by your active participation in all the programs here. You will see Come here, come to the chapel and sit here 5 minutes. Wonderful effect you will have, wonderful effect. I can assure you about that. Some other day, one friend came. He has come previously also 2-3 times. Of course, he was very good and he liked the place very much. But it so happened, on a particular day, when he came, I was there, standing, coming along with him. Then I led him to the chapel. He has come 2-3 times, but he has not come to the chapel at all. He was amazed when he came and said, "Oh Swamiji, is there a chapel here?" He is asking. See, once he came inside and he saw and stood before Sri Ramakrishna, whole personality, how he felt a kind of transformation, a serene atmosphere. I told, this is the soul of the ashram. Sri Ramakrishna many times gives the example. It is people come and see the garden and go away without seeing the owner of the garden. If you see the owner of the garden, you will get everything, whatever that is in the garden and much more. It is just like that. First thing you must do, first important thing when you step into the ashram, as soon as you enter inside, come here first, bow down, pray for 2-3 minutes, then go anywhere you want, library, bookstore, upstairs, 3rd floor, 2nd floor, 1st floor, wherever you want you may go. But we do the reverse. First we go 1st floor, 2nd floor, 3rd floor, library, bookstore, etc. And afterwards, if time permits, I will go to chapel. That also, one leg inside, one leg outside, threshold. That's the way we are practicing spirituality. What kind of spirituality is that? What kind of spirituality? So, the sincerity is tested in every movement, every word which we utter, every breath which we inhale, every act that we do. Sincerity is tested. If you are careful about those things, then you will see how wonderful results you will get. If you don't aspire for the results, results will come to you in floods. Anyway, I am feeling that way. See, first of all, you must know, the rishis, they didn't have God realization all at once. They didn't have Divya Drishti all at once. Who are these rishis? They are human beings like us, but they took up this spiritual practice in all sincerity. They wanted to achieve the results in the very life, come what may. So they decided to devote whole time to experience the divine supreme. So they renounced everything and went to the forest, meditated there for a long time. In course of their practices, regular practices, all their past impressions are all cleared off. Once the purity was established, then they got the revelations. So there is a stage everywhere. That's the point. And another point which you are referring, a person who wants to come to New York, goes to different places. The point is this: a person who wants to go to New York, he must consult a person who has seen New York. He must take his guidance, take the plan, and even if he takes the plan and guidelines from the person who has seen New York, even then he may go wrong, because if he is not careful in following those directions given by the guide. In the same way, this is also true. Sri Ramakrishna is here. He has given all practical suggestions for those who want spirituality, and I have told many ways in many classes that if we give importance to every step what Sri Ramakrishna has said in the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, it should not be difficult for us to have the grace of God. What is the grace of God? It means that you should be able to come more and more. That only proves that your interest is increased. And it depends upon how you come and pray and how your mind is concentrated and is made to think about the divine Paramatma. Anyway, as I already told you, not only coming but with holy association, with discussion, and our life also should be in tune with what we talk and discuss. Because there are Pandits who are masters of all the scriptures, but they are mere Pandits only without any experience. So, just intellectual understanding is not enough to get the grace of God. Anyway, it is certainly better than people who don't have that faculty at all. Knowledge is supreme. All glory to knowledge. In fact, in the highest analysis, knowledge itself is God. But anyway, we understand that stage by stage. What I mean to say, let us improve our lives. Let us not go downwards as our age goes upwards. As we become more and more old, we must become more and more devoted, more and more spiritual. On the other hand, I see people, the more they are old, the more they are cynical. What's the good? Life is gone, wasted, finished. Cynical. Always criticizing, always finding fault, always grumbling, always complaining. Bas. That is what he has made all his 40, 50 years of life. What's the good? So your spirituality, each one's spirituality is tested by one's own actions. Anyway, before elaborating all those things, let us try to concentrate upon what Sri Ramakrishna has said and try to put it in practice as far as possible. Let us admit our weakness. Then we become qualified to receive the grace. Don't cover up the weakness. That's the first important point you should all remember. Chant the name of the Lord and His glory unceasingly, that the mirror of the heart may be wiped clean and quenched that mighty forest fire, worldly lust raging furiously within. O name, stream down in moonlight on the lotus heart, opening its cup to knowledge of thyself. O self, drowned deep in the waves of His bliss, tasting His nectar at every step, bathing in His name, that bath for weary souls. Various are thy names, O Lord, in each and every name thy power resides. No times are set, no rites are needful for chanting of thy name. So vast is thy mercy, how huge then is my wretchedness, who find in this empty life and heart no devotion to thy name. O my mind, be humbler than a blade of grass, be patient and forbearing like a tree, take no honor to thyself, give honor to all, chant unceasingly the name of the Lord. O Lord and soul of the universe, mine is no prayer for wealth or retinue, the playthings of lust or the toys of fame, as many times as I may be reborn. Grant me, O Lord, a steadfast love for thee. A drowning man in this world's fearful ocean is thy servant, O sweet one. In thy mercy, consider him as dust beneath thy feet. Oh, how I long for the day when an instant's separation from thee, O Lord, will be as 1,000 years, when my heart burns away with its desire, and the world without thee is a heartless void. Prostrate at thy feet let me be, in unwavering devotion, neither imploring the embrace of thine arms, nor bewailing the withdrawal of thy presence, though it tears my soul asunder. O thou who stealest the hearts of thy devotees, do with me what thou wilt, for thou art my heart's beloved, thou and thou alone. O Lord, lead us from the unreal to the real, lead us from darkness to light, and lead us from death to immortality. May all be free from dangers, may all realize what is good, may all be actuated by noble thoughts, may all rejoice everywhere, may all be happy, may all be free from disease, may all realize what is good, may none be subject to misery. May the wicked become virtuous, may the virtuous attain tranquility, may the tranquil be free from bonds, may the freed make others free. May good betide all people, may the sovereign righteously rule the earth, may all beings ever attain what is good, may the worlds be prosperous and happy. May the clouds pour rain in time, may the earth be blessed with crops, may all countries be freed from calamity, may holy men live without fear. May the Lord, the destroyer of sins, the presiding deity of all sacred works, be satisfied. For he being pleased, the whole universe becomes pleased. He being satisfied, the whole universe feels satisfied.